Hey guys, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I miss being in youth with everyone, but I'm glad I've gotten to see some of you guys these past couple Sundays while we've been in church. So my title is Living in Blank. I wanted to start with my first verse, which is in 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So when I asked to do this devotion, I was scared and very, very nervous because I'm such a shy and quiet person, and I don't really like taking videos of myself, which is something I knew I would have to do. And after I had asked to do the devotion, I had this thought of backing out because there was this fear that I had, this fear of people judging me or maybe messing it up or not knowing what to say. And so I started to get anxious about what I was going to talk about, and I still had that fear. And I thought to myself, if I can barely handle this little devotion for youth, then how is God supposed to use me in the future for what He has planned if I always have this fear and worry? God has given each and every one of us a purpose and a calling, and we not only have to be patient and wait for whatever is to come, but we also have to have faith in God. Because when we don't have faith in what God has planned, then that can end up getting replaced with fear. Fear can hold us back, and it can keep us from fulfilling the plan that was made for us. When you have fear instead of faith, that's when the enemy can try and attack you, and he can find your weak spots and use it against you because he knows that you're scared. Sometimes we tend to blame our fear on God. We question why we are afraid, and sometimes we ask God, why am I so scared? Why am I so afraid? Why am I like this? When I was younger, I missed out on a lot of things because I was afraid and because I had a lot of fears. But then I later regretted it. And now, if I had let fear control me, I probably wouldn't have asked to do this devotion in the first place. And I know that I would have regretted it. It took a lot of courage for me to do this devotion, but I knew that if I didn't, I would end up regretting it. And I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity where God can use me, even if it's for this little devotion for youth. I wanted to talk about fear because I know that right now, while we're still in youth, we can get scared sometimes of what's to come or what God is going to use us for and what He has planned. But if we just replace that fear with faith, we would be so much stronger, and you would be so much stronger as a person, and we would also be so much stronger as a youth group. That's why we need to be living in faith instead of fear. My second verse is in 1 John 4:18. There's no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. In this verse, it says that perfect love drives out fear. And we already have that perfect love as Christians. We already have that perfect love when Jesus died on the cross for our sins. That was an example of perfect love. God doesn't want us to fear because He has it in control, and He doesn't want us to be afraid because if we just have faith in Him, we would be okay. So my 3 questions are, what were the 2 verses I used? What was my fill in the blank? I said it right before I said my second verse. And in what ways has God used you, either in the past or recently?